Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. Let me tell you, the NFL offseason is never short on surprises, and this time it's no different. Rumors are swirling around a blockbuster trade that could reshape the defensive landscape of the NFC East, and it involves none other than the Washington Commanders and the Seattle Seahawks, according to NFL.com. There's a strong possibility that the Seahawks, currently sitting at 9-3 with a solid cap space of around $16 million, are looking to move on from cornerback Devin Witherspoon. And if this happens, it could be one of those moves that not only boosts Washington's secondary, but also signals a new chapter for their defense, which has been trending upward but still needs that extra spark. The Seahawks are reportedly open to trading Witherspoon in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft and a conditional fourth-round pick in 2027. The idea behind this move is to optimize their youth and continue building around their elite defense, which is currently allowing just 18 points per game, one of the best in the league. Witherspoon, drafted in the first round of 2023, has shown flashes of brilliance in his first 3 seasons. At just 23 years old, he's already established himself as one of the league's most aggressive and versatile cornerbacks. His style is that of a shadow, a shutdown corner who can lock down top receivers and make game-changing plays when it counts. And this is where things get interesting for the Commanders. If Witherspoon joins Washington, he immediately becomes the cornerstone of their secondary, which has been a bit exposed at times this season. The team's pass defense has struggled to contain opposing quarterbacks, and adding a player of Witherspoon's caliber could be the catalyst for a major turnaround. His stats speak volumes. Over 3 seasons, he's played in 38 games with 150 solo tackles and 69 assists. He's accumulated 4-5 sacks, an interception that he returned 97 yards for a touchdown, and has been selected to 2 Pro Bowls. In 2025, despite missing 7 games due to injury, he still recorded 28 solo tackles, 14 assists, and maintained an elite PFF coverage grade of 88.5. His career EPA, expected points added, allowed per target, is around 1.2, comparable to some of the league's best, including Jalen Ramsey. What's driving the Seahawks' interest in moving Witherspoon? Well, they're sitting comfortable with playoff odds at plus 850 to win the Super Bowl, but there's concern about the injury history. He missed 5 games in 2025, and questions about their backfield depth. Plus, moving on from a young, talented corner like Witherspoon could free up cap space to address other needs, particularly on the offensive side or at wide receiver, where they're also looking to add some explosive options. The trade could also be seen as a way for the Seahawks to reallocate resources and perhaps target more veteran help or draft picks to bolster their roster further. Now, for the Commanders, this potential acquisition couldn't come at a better time. Their defense, particularly the secondary, has been leaking yards and points, especially against passing offenses. With a 3-9 record, they're in a rebuild mode, but adding a player like Witherspoon could accelerate their turnaround. His presence would bring a serious boost to their pass defense, which currently ranks among the bottom in the league in certain metrics. A partnership with someone like Forbes, who already has 3 INTs this season, could form a formidable duo. Imagine Witherspoon's lockdown skills paired with Forbes' ball-hawking ability. It could lead to a significant increase in turnovers, with projections suggesting a plus 15% uptick in forced turnovers and a reduction of the opponent's points per game from around 26.9 to closer to 22. And here's an interesting point. If this trade goes through, it could have a ripple effect across the division and beyond. For the Commanders, this is about building a secondary that's not just decent but elite. Witherspoon's versatility allows him to match up against some of the league's top receivers, and his knack for making game-changing plays could be the X-factor that pushes Washington over the edge. His ability to cover, rush the passer, and make tackles in the open field makes him a very complete player, something the Commanders have been searching for. Looking at the bigger picture, the Commanders are trying to build a championship-level defense, and they've been laying the groundwork with solid drafting and development, but they still need that final piece. If they land Witherspoon, it's not just about upgrading the secondary. It's about instilling confidence in their entire defense. A secondary that can lock down receivers, force turnovers, and create pressure makes life easier for the front seven. And that, in turn, helps the entire team perform at a higher level. The coaching staff and front office have been emphasizing a more aggressive, opportunistic approach, and Witherspoon fits that mold perfectly. Now, let's talk a bit about the potential impact on the odds for winning the NFC East and possibly the Super Bowl. If Washington manages to secure Witherspoon, it could be a game changer. This kind of upgrade signals the team's serious intent to contend, and it could shift the division dynamics. The Eagles and Cowboys have been formidable, but Washington's defense with a player like Witherspoon could become one of the league's most feared units. It's all about creating that identity, one that combines a stout run defense with lockdown coverage on the outside. That's how you make a serious push in the playoffs. Of course, there are always questions. Will Witherspoon want to come to Washington? Will the Seahawks make this deal happen? And how quickly can the Commanders integrate him into their scheme? But based on the current intel, the fit seems natural. Witherspoon's aggressive style and youth align perfectly with Washington's plans for a competitive future. Plus, the team's current cornerback situation could definitely use an injection of elite talent. And speaking of the division, this potential trade is reminiscent of past moves that reshaped teams' fortunes. It's the kind of blockbuster that fans love: big names, high stakes, and the promise of a brighter future. The Commanders are not just looking to patch holes. They want to build a secondary that's among the best in the league, and acquiring someone like Witherspoon could be the move that elevates their entire defense to that next level. It's about creating a culture of excellence and instilling confidence, something that's been missing at times this season. In summary, the buzz around this possible trade is undeniable. The Seahawks see value in moving on from Witherspoon, especially if they believe they can get a good return and use the cap space and draft capital to further strengthen their roster. Meanwhile, the Commanders are eyeing that big splash, a move that could define their offseason and set the tone for years to come. It's a fascinating storyline that's unfolding right now, and as fans, we need to stay tuned because this could be the beginning of something special for Washington. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news.